The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. The room behind your closed eyelids is familiar now. The only home you've ever known. Its darkness gathers. The last thing you hear is the wind blowing in through the broken window. Then something comes, a kind of sleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about it.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. Soul brother. Oh no, it's much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distraction.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the...
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again...
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
Yes? What is it? That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
Whoa, how does she know your name? She probably heard it from somewhere. You have to be more...
that was... Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't...
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
She actually did.
Yes, I called you by your name. What about it? Good. Everybody knows your name. Please go finish your investigation, so everyone can go home.
Again? I can't...
Boy, am I ever so grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
I knew it.
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, in that case, sweetie, let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Yes, I saw it. You're welcome.
And she could get up and walk.
Oh,
It's a...
that's...
She's used to...
My apologies.
It's not searching.
The quality of... She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
Yes? What?
Boy,
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know.
I knew.
Well,
The little... You could...
yes, I saw it. You're welcome.
And she could get up and walk.
I couldn't possibly shower thanks on you as enthusiastically as my wife has, but I am grateful for...
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial. But inside, this man is...
Good. Okay. And? Completely empty?
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated reasoning.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to recon...
another trip to the reeds.
Of course we have.
Wait, Morel. He may have a point.
You're right, dear. It's a fair point. But pardon me. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news to...
Heartfelt gratitude. Some kind of foul play might be afoot. Theft?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation.
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for... Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity? Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely that you should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you...
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here.
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. Morel, it's been fun. Really. But I need a bath.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to...
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime. What do you mean, the actual source? Are you talking...
She remembers. Good.
She who has many names. I imagine things... what?
Ma'am, what he's saying is true. We found an anthroponetic anomaly in the small Pinewood church down the coast. I don't mean to be an alarmist, and more research...
But that's not in any of the ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that? Close the shop? But it's all like, especially now that Annette is settling in at school again. She's finally making friends in this place. Thank you for your help in any case. You're welcome back here anytime.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? You mean the curse that I'm spared of because I live outside its immediate reach? I'm listening. Excuse me? A 2mm hole in reality? This can't be true.
I'm afraid it is, ma'am. Sona Lukanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident, made the discovery.
Sona is involved in this? So it's even worse than I thought. It's not just the commercial...
She looks outside the window where daylight has filled the yard.
A curse is something superstitious, but a 2mm hole in reality? We all know what it means. It's pale. In any case, thank you for stopping by. It's good to have an answer, even if I can't claim to understand it fully.
Does Kuno care? No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, C.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
Lame. That rings some bells. Could this be connected to Night City? AKA, the City of Rage.
Oh god, Kuno, no! It's gonna happen now. They're gonna make you lame.
Stop it, C. No one's gonna make any...
There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack, the one with the pig's head.
Kuno doesn't...
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. Like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand rising. Accommodations for their insectoid inhabitants.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well. Yes, I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough. If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The Phasmid did... But what do I know?
Use your powers of deduction. You knew the magic bug was nowhere near here. The Phasmid is impaired.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things.
Fuck does Kuno care? Yeah. Kuno took the bugs, so what?
So it wasn't the Phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
Yeah, well, Kuno's all you got, bitch. It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky.
Stop!
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the Night City he mentioned when you asked him where.
Yeah, Locust City.
There's a tug of war over the name of his fantastical city. The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
Kuno made Kuno. Kuno says whatever the fuck he wants. There are no rules here, pig. I fucking say I when I wanna, and Kuno when I wanna. Kuno's free.
This is what he sometimes does when things get tense.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally...
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free. Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants.
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno!
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from... So that's what this is about. Without a word, she disappears entirely behind the fence. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation. You've got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence. She doesn't know whether to be glad because Kuno is finally convinced of the lameness, or more worried because of his continued use of the first-person singular. Kuno is Kuno, not I.
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just pig. You really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame. Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
He recognizes the name.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying... Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Trying to sneak up on...
The door is closed again. You hear someone inside. Walk. The door is... You hear... Just an ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because you see it, finally. This wall is sublime. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this. O Wall Father. Huh? He sounds tired of it all. You already have the heavy fuel oil to use as paint. It's red. And Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on.
Sure. If you must.
Arno van Eyck. Okay, so Egghead is clearly not Van Eyck in disguise. Van Eyck is an Oranese disc jockey, but those people get around, especially in Revachol, in the clubs on Boogie Street. Perhaps he stayed here for a short stint and discarded part of the song he was working on. Just threw it away. And then it ended up in the...
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone.
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a deep shadow over his...
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Yes, he was about to head home. Cause when the dock... Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me.
That means the uniform could still be in the guard booth. Something to keep in mind if you really plan to give yourself to Revachol.
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing you or I could say.
He has doubts. But right now, he just wants to move on and not think about it.
I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even the only people who could stand to be around him were... and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world, we've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact. Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a Kent, and he died a Kent. Let's live. I took them for myself. Took them to remember that...
Strange how old cunt sounds almost gentle when he says it now.
Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy and I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry.
It is what it is. Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. René wasn't really what you'd call a botanist, officer. And believe me, he didn't like Insulindian. That's their old name, dating back to the time of kings, and there were many reasons, but mostly it was I guess in the end, the Insulindian lilies were just another piece.
But you feel the dried flower in your hand somehow still does matter, although not to this sad old man.
Yes? What about René?
Yes.
It is... I just don't know anymore. Officer, I just...
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again late. 57.
In the cabin, you see... The tear machine step. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Wandering Man.
The unpromising race.
There is nothing I cannot possibly imagine.
This is the night watchman's booth. Take it. It's just, generally speaking, it would be dishonorable to take it. But then, it looks like a military unit.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
Wow, this jacket makes you feel strong. As if your blood is mixing with that of the venom. Apologies, you're right. The need for a strong set. It's time to clean. Back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly. before the cargo container. It's despite the dirt that surrounds and trails you. The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Try again. Just like that, you hear a click, then a rattle. Some mechanism
Ahoy! Come on in!
You can't be serious.
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review. Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Welcome, welcome. Not too much, actually. Just pleasantly surprised to have company today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he's...
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen? Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long anyhow. My name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely...
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must admit, the name suits you very well.
Oh Lord, not this again. Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case? And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, all I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not...
And low. Actually, at the level this guy is, it takes several generations to do that. But, alright.
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work, but then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are sold. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really. Precisely, Mr. Dubois. You know, I hear people talk sometimes about economic equality, a nightmare scenario, a world of slavery and violence. Where we are right now, the freedom of mankind can only be derived from the free flow of capital. This truly, it's almost...
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place?
What do you mean? Are you talking about my chin? Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient.
The Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient is a ratio designed to reflect the difference in net worth between individuals. When the coefficient is close to 1, or 100%, it means one person possesses all the net worth among that group of individuals. It's the Weiss-Wiesemann coefficient for you, and this 0.9998 repeating. That's not good for you.
Among other things. But calm down. I am but a lowly single-digit billionaire. No, not really. There are actually quite many digits.
A man this chill is at least a triple-digit billionaire.
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container.
Yes, I imagine that does look strange to you traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe. By the way, let me now ask you a question.
In the very, very early days of colonizing this archipelago, the kingdom of Sirens, a precursor of a modern Sur-le-Clay, used to own the city of Revachol, an obscure detail in the bigger picture, but still worth dropping.
A fellow history buff. I myself am currently reading. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth, there simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. They're always spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. Smart, you know? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted adverts, luxury yachts, high-fidelity portable radio systems, fail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois. What? No, I did not say that at all. Being rich is great. Just...
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this? Yes, I'm sure. Maybe you can make that money grow.
These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Thanks for stopping. Welcome back, gentlemen. What can I do for you?
What's worse than throwing money at something that's already failed?
Go on. I'm ready.
Nicking an idea that wasn't worth anything in the first place and trying to pass it off as your own? How very entrepreneurial.
Hold on. Have we met before? Yeah, on second thought, it couldn't have been you. Your idea reminds me of a group of young men who came to me a long time ago, calling themselves. They pitched to me and a handful of other investors who, well, at first everything was rosy. They lacked the will to get things done. As their financial situation, we lost all of our money. High art types.
I guess the inordinate amount of time they put into drawing mythical creatures did not generate a return on investment.
Nobody knows for sure, but the place can't be pretty. Sadly, when we got there, it was too late. What I want to tell you is this. It's a very bad thing.
Okay, well, maybe I was wrong. We've all learned something today.
Absolutely not.
Stop embarrassing yourself. Pop a magnesium and calm down.
It was a real fair...
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna...
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a real future. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike,
Hear that? You did it the honest way. You got the real signatures, and now he's happy. Well done. We would have preferred trickery, but the choice was yours, sire. As always. You are the liege, and you're in.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people...
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate that.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of... Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state, but will there be giant statues of the Clare brothers towering above it all?
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complex.
You would look nice as a statue.
Damn right I am, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as she is one day. That's my job. Just...
A true flash of anger in him, as he thinks of her.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at...
That is true. People don't trust pretty people.
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp rising.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men. Or 15 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still... We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates,
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole.
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare.
He really doesn't know. The guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself.
He really doesn't.
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,370. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many... With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how...
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, the company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad. Has bad optics. Maybe illegal in some countries.
In bulk shipping. Large volume column.
We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risk.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored. And
the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure that you...
He's basically admitting to it.
It's also far removed from my men and the people of Martinez who've put their trust in me. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's... Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to... I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's gonna be in on the wealth, and everyone's gonna pull their weight. Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez. We're way past specific Union members now. This is the big time. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such a matter.
There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode.
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done. Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild.
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for detail.
We might be looking at someone with a medical history here. Watch out.
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
There it is again. The Pigs. Like Roy said.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Ah, yes. Your side investigation. Thank you. You've got some spirit clearing up phony drug accusations alongside this murder. I'll talk to the mayor and see if I can get you the...
Actually, Revachol doesn't have a mayor. He refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small, not even a speck of anger in his voice. That's that then.
Mega rich lightbending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there? Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega rich lightbending guys.
There was a guy in the container, but he didn't bend any light. That was in the detective's head.
Honestly, guys, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbor, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega rich. I have a reputation to protect. No, they're not. They're vermin, and one just found a way inside my container. Soon, he'll bring the others. All three of them. Thank you for telling me. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich person somewhere in his container town.
I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? Very nice. Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightened, so they shot him.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman. By all means, Harry. What?
Hardcore aesthetic. Oh yes, drugs. We're talking about drugs. Let's face it, these flirtations with the hardcore aesthetic have all been leading up to one question. Can I do drugs harder now that I'm a hard cop? And the answer is yes. You can. You can do one more blast of Pyrrolidon and yellow shit powder. You can even pull a ciggy and a lager on top of that. There, you've truly made the hardcore your own thing now.
Hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a long greeting. Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about Union guys. But who did you want to talk about? Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does. But a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some Union business. Not even in Revachol, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right now, it's Mr. Everett's turn to look after the Union, but left with the first autumn rains and didn't come.
South Safri. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo. The trade must have been lucrative for the trip to be so long.
He's a Union man through and through. Good guy. He's very... Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes...
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful times like these.
Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does... Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some Union men. I think he really believes Jean... Who do you mean, mister?
You do realize he might just be a figment of your imagination, right?
I don't know anyone like this, mister. Maybe he's one of Mr.
He really feels very uncomfortable discussing matters related to Everett with you.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water.
He's probably one of those rare specimens who are born when two drunk seamen stumble on top of each other on the deck amidst a storm so violent it flings whales around.
The night guard, he was a peculiar fellow. Headstrong and proud. We didn't really talk all that much. He died recently. I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everett would like it very much. You better ask... Sure, mister. What can...
Is this about the question?
In the morning light, the white on blue police livery on the motor carriage cannot but catch your eye. Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always... This is a Caprice Canema, the Caprice Motor Corps follow-up to their highly successful workhorse, Caprice 40, and the answer to the Lum's with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Canema is able to reach... The high center of balance is offset by a large battery bank, mounted at the bottom of the cabin, feeding all the auxiliary systems and making the... Due to a quite steep price tag, it is very unusual to see one in police livery.
Mm-hmm. You want to take a closer look? 130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR-18GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
Yeah, you know it? Yes, that's right. I'm very impressed that you know these things. Yes, an extraordinary machine.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot. It's a bit girly right now. Fit it with some proper off-road components.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some... You want to help? Thank you for the offer. That might be fun. Let's do the case first, though, alright?
He liked the idea. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57.
In the cabin.
This is Precinct 57.
In the cabin. Is that the Phasmid? It looks like the Phasmid, leaning against the wall. Wait, what if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? Fine, it's not a Phasmid. It's not even organic. Just a fire iron resting by the fireplace. But where's your sense of wonder, man? Is that the Phasmid? It looks like the Phasmid. Wait. What if this is the fishing rod situation all over again? It's not the Phasmid. It's not even organic. It's a fire iron. How disappointing. Right? You'll have better luck next time, though. The Phasmid, finding it is your destiny.
Mister, what were you doing in my fireplace? Oh. Okay. Oh. I had gloves. Very big ones.
Where did you get these gloves?
Found them when Lemmy and I were playing hide and seek. In an empty house. Where no one lives.
She doesn't want you to think she stole them.
I hid them. The twins were gonna take them. They're stupid.
We're going to need those gloves. It's for important...
Oh. They're in my sandcastle. Behind our house. Under the sand. You can break the castle. It's not very good. Bye!
Weather has not been kind to Lily's little sandcastle. The once mighty towers are quickly eroding away. You can see something shining back to you from what must have been a vast underground catacomb network.
The little castle? The reigning lord must have come upon some really tough times to let it sleep in such...
The walls and floors give way to the giant's greed, collapse and present you with a pair of ceramic gauntlets.
Congratulations. That's the gauntlets down, then.
Hello, officer. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
She acts chipper, but something's changed in her tone. Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap.
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience has given way.
darling, I told you to take it easy.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast.
He wants to see this tale through, as much as you. Otherwise...
Really? It's too much, officer.
What Morell means is we're grateful for your help.
Here's a fresh batch of locals. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a
Wow. Co-discovery. You'd be famous. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
Give me a moment.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my...
What for? Well, if it's for art... But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off. Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything, really.
You don't have the skills to execute something like this in practice. But, oh boy, the idea's going to blow her fucking mind. She squints her eyes.
On fire. I say, sod off. You don't have the technical skills to do that.
I like your idea. Should have thought of it myself. I don't need this kind of competition in my neighborhood.
Then get your brush from fucking art.
Oops, my apologies. I guess I was trying too hard. You're a police officer and a grown-up. Why are you trying to impress her?
Ooh, police brutality.
How come you're letting this baby rat run circles around you? End this now.
Fine, take it. I'm all out of fuel oil anyway.
You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? red-dyed heavy fuel oil. Time to get to proper work, artiste. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer of detritus to the city.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation?
The door is closed. You hear some... The trap stands empty amongst the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around.
Fantastic.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of... Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological...
Hello, dear. Thank you for doing that, dear.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many...
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I...
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How?
Answering a question with a question, for example. Defensive isn't her usual style.
I'm not. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told...
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen? An extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything. He's hiding. These things are tough on him. Matters of love, not violence or deceit. An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care. All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
You know, this reminds you of the Pericarnassian theory of love. In essence, love is a relay out of death. Generation by generation, our love remains in our progeny. Lay some of that on her.
Oh, sweetie, I don't think the Pericarnassians were thinking of people in my situation. I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived, on our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists...
She has to swallow to relax her throat. It's keeping her from talking.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. What you have to know is the Insulindian phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our...
Are there? Some of the other things are pretty bad.
I'm not sure of anything. Sometimes I still see it, you know. The real memory. Not the memory of the memory, but...
Rising. Unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day. Like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck.
No one can stop you from finding the Phasmid.
Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
You too, sweetie. Thank you for everything, truly. Even though it turned out to be a...
A waste of time. A dream. A lie. A fool's hope. Say her lips moving in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold, coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there any 57?
In the cabin, you see...
Yes?
The door is... You hear someone inside. The man is decomposing visibly now. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the...
see you.
You close your eye.
But just imagine the moves you...
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flow. Salvation.
Goodbye, officer.
Yes, what is it?
Oh, hey, man. It's good to see you.
You close... An old door, worn by elements.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
An old monument stands. Someone shot him in the heart. The monument stands high. A silver, not a good, as you look up. The woman looks at nothing. Girl child.
Huh? What is it? What do you want?
Right to work!
Looking for something odd?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Oh? Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something... What we...
There was a touch of discomfort that she nods.
Of course. Anything to help. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad...
This door is made of metal. No one.
Let's go. There's nothing.
The door is you hear someone inside. Walk in.
Trying to sneak up on me.
The worn and beaten.
We can sit on...
You can revisit the...
Oh. Host Almighty. He's a total bummer now.
Yes? What about René?
Yes.
It is what I just done.
Hey, was there something you needed?
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. He looks Shrugging is an international sign. You see a heavy steel door. The Kolb old coat, it leads to the door does not. The ham sandwich looks fresh and nutritious in your hand, begging to be eaten. You jam your teeth into the sandwich and immediately feel a series of taste explosions go off in your mouth. It's like someone's carpet bombing your tongue with ambrosia. This is what angels must taste like. Your saliva production increases tenfold. You can barely contain it all. It really is every bit as good as it looked and smelled. The different components all chip in and complement each other, forming a flavor that is unique to this particular masterpiece. The bread, as the foundation of the sandwich, is slightly moist due to the tomato juice and mayo, but holds together nicely. Almost nothing falls off the sandwich. You feel like you really got everything out of this experience.
Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let... well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
So he volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary. Somewhere in your mind hangs a dark green blackboard. There are two columns. One says, cases solved. The other, confirmed kills. The rows are endless. Jean Vicmer, Judith Minot, a special consultant. What was his name? Then the rows degrade into green nothingness. Your brothers have left you.
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports.
A tremble comes over you. Another after effect of ethanol poisoning, perhaps. Feels like leaves do when they rustle in the breeze, somewhere far away, below the turbine. The 41st and the 57th. The lieutenant was right. It's not about who gets what's north. It's about who doesn't.
Yes, I am an unrepentant spoilsport. Well, technically, the official record keeper has been known to double-count murder-suicides.
A common accounting gimmick used to inflate precinct stats.
I'm good enough for this case. I'm not here to compete. I came because I had to. My fellow officers, the sergeants in particular, would have made this scene into a circus.
It's all part of the master plan, you see. He opens one hand and looks at it. A moment passes.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mambo or Jambo? Mental illness. So, the 41st Precinct sent you because you are the most mentally ill out of all the officers at your station? Then why did they send you? A good joke.
He does not actually think it was a good joke.
Oh, you will? Then I will help you to do so. Now...
Still, against his better judgment, this made him think just a little bit less of you.
Was there anything else you wanted? Yes? What do you want to know? What's there to say? It's just stupidity. The cop kind. Well, I think the dispatch...
So, somewhere in your mind, the rows are Jean, your brothers have left.
Yes. I'm an Well...
A common accounting gimmick.
I'm good enough for this case, Martinez.
A tremble comes over you. Another arm. It's all part of the master plan, you see. He opened.
Which school do you subscribe to? Mental illness. So, the 41st Precinct sent you because you are the most mentally ill out of all the officers at your station? Of course.
It's all part of the master plan, you see.
No. Oh no, it's very imaginable. We fail to place responsibility for the hanging. The harbor company see the situation is out of control. Local law enforcement solving one little homicide decides nothing. Not solving it can have real and calculable effects. Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
He's actually glad it's addressed now. Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late and argues with his necktie. You weren't sent here to win.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional, but I also think it's somewhat unlikely. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win. I am the finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
He's right. There are no airtight theories. Just paranoia. You've given it some thought. Now let it go. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
All right. I will need a little help carrying him.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Yeah? All right. Sure. Do whatever you need to do. I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight. It's the ledger you found in the trash.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
Yeah? All right. I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. No, it's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your... Shush. I can't hear what she's saying.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into. You're right. There's more. You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon. Grey and pale violet in the morning light. The pale, the Muindi Isola. The Occident, and then Aranye. The old, old world. The conference centers. The people who are angry at her. Her past.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts. It is. They're after me. And they have friends in the moral intern. Some are moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Orionese lit. Here we go. For once, you seem to have her off guard. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene. It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again, with a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewsdown County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewis Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too, along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me. It is. Many people lost their jobs. Not just C-suite. Ordinary people. What I did to get to accounting, a lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
One of them killed themselves because of me.
She says it quickly, like she's said it 100 times to herself to get used to the idea, out of guilt.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it? There you have it. The way of the warrior. We were there. Together. In bed, I mean. Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me. He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Oh. So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No. Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets. Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys. Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Would you say she is the 8th Hardy Boy?
Why not? Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
How could we have missed that? And when was the tampering? 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does. Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would. Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did. I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. What are you doing? Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. It is ominous. You already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Klaasja.
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun lying around. Close to her hand. A military weapon using jacketed ammunition. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought Ravishol would be more enlightened about this. Especially since you've taken them yourself.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance. It's not one of respect. You may want to add a clever retort to this one. She looks at you, confused. The lieutenant shares her confusion. Respond with something professional, now.
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor. I don't know. His friends have rifles. Maybe those psychos did it? Coalition military have rifles. I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened.
She's getting scared now. Of you. The downstairs people. All of it. She simply shakes her head.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
Like what? Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to...
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible. Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call then? She did, of course. Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer. And it makes you sweat.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone, so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me. I just don't know. I don't know anything.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there. Last week, Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Officer?
Let's see. I wrote down the nickname, Lelista. We have questions that might help solve some gaps in our field autopsy. I'm sure my colleague has a few of his own while I take notes.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list, the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agriculture. Aranye? Aranye's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranien Rek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Sex. Alcohol. No love for Muta Aranye? Wasn't he a soldier?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader.
A flash of rage comes over you. The words have already left your mouth.
Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. Come to think of it, maybe it was our hate for Oranje that brought us together. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too. He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points aren't good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. Oily, isn't it? We have that in common now.
She understands what autopsies entail. It doesn't get her off balance.
No. Okay, sure. Here you go. What else are we missing, officer?
Oh, that.
It's clear she liked it.
Quite a lot, yes. Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranye's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranye's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, Okay, but what's this, baby? And he's like, saw some bad shit there. Killed some loincloths. And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Change of topic, perhaps? A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. All right, let's see where this is going.
Cool.
All right. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Huh. How old do I think you are?
She's buying time to formulate the best answer. Look who's finally awake.
I don't know. 1 million years old? 21? 17? How old are superstar police officers usually?
You're not.
Sure he is. You know, age is just a number.
Yes, but for him that number is higher than 45.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium. Wait. Below the dam. How old? You could ask either one of them.
Huh.
She's... Look who's...
I don't know.
You're not.
Wait. Stop. Below the dam. How old? You could ask either one of them.
Huh.
She's... Look who's...
I don't know.
You're not.
Sure he is.
Yes.
Wait. This to the labyrinth. Wait. Below. How? You could ask either one of them.
Huh.
She's... Look who's fine.
I don't know.
You're...
Sure he...
Yes.
Wait. To the lab... This window is pristine on the inside. Unlike the one next, golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. A two-hearted spider. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime, the glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime. most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmargrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinaise? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
But we are.
Officer,
Who? What? Dear Lord, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just at all. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Yes. Start at the top. Choose at the bottom. See?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay. Okay, it's not. You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it. No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Clausia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds, on the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline. It's Katarzyna Alazie.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugograd in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells. It also makes Clausia almost an alacronym for Katarzyna Alazie.
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Clausia?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago. My parents were Zhemsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranje. Alazie is my father's name.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
What?
Her hand trembles. She's only pretending she didn't hear you say, devil woman.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like...
That is the emergency's desk number. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you officers, but I am now. But I haven't done anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
But there's nowhere to go. A 2-story drop to the Plaza Mosaic. If she could, she would have run before. Fragile, unshielded. Her voice is thin and tired.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby. She has this thing for me, ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting.
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she...
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
She could have had access to the roof. You've noticed that door there, right? Maybe it leads downstairs. She could have come to the roof through that, then taken the shot right here, where I stand. It was dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes, of course. She's been up here many times, jacking private stations off the ring antenna. She used to come here to drink on the roof with me, before it got weird.
Okay, and what? Arrest the liar now. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful. She's stuck here. She's already in prison. Look around. She's only trying to help you. Her. Stop letting her distract you.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know. But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational...
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink, and dance, wallowing in shit. Just like... You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
That's it. I'm calling it. Kim is beyond compromised. Definitely, sire.
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Revachol.
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Revachol could be free. I could be tried in a free Revachol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
A free Revachol. There is a low, distant rumble on the motor tracks. A great...
I find that hard to believe, miss.
It's coming.
The world can change. It's changed before.
Her political overture has succeeded, we see. This was her last card. There is nothing more she can say. The final decision is yours. She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your partner for the rest of the day. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
I won't, sir.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this. cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes. The blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all. The same small, heavy door. An old door worn by An old door worn by
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just in the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there, in the whirling in rugs. It's not possible to climb that ladder, and even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps, but anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fire this time of year. Truthfully, This seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it? Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tiumutiri to Astra or Juan? Cigarette...
Tiumutiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmara. The Suzerainties population was mostly Ilmara. Oh, you do? The butts you saw had a silhouette of a boy wearing a coffee hat, a tobacco picker. This boy is the Tiumutiri brand logo. Contemporary Revacholians prefer Juan there, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, through a glowing light on the third floor of the Whirling in Rags, with binoculars, smoking, drinking, being happy and elated, without you, because you're here, freezing in the wind. A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the...
That, over there. Must be the boy Klaas you told us about. The one she hid her passport in.
Ooh, hidden things, secrets, lies. You lift the boy out of the water without much effort. It's not tied to anything. The cord's dangling from the bottom. The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. The water this side of the peninsula is... There's something in there, splashing around. A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well, damn. I have no idea. Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope. In my experience, cryptids are generally uninteresting.
You could ask the Miss what she thinks, later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
I have no idea. Or think we do. That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her.
You could ask the Miss what she thinks, later, if you...
I have no idea. Or think we could be. We should keep...
You could ask the Miss what she thinks.
We still got here too late. There's nothing of use here anymore.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. Poor things. Whoa, what have we here? A bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind. A construction code violation if there ever was one.
True, they never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
You're back. Good. What?
The door you hear.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions. Oh.
Did you take the documents?
No, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway.
She doesn't seem to be lying. She's genuinely spooked by their disappearance.
Cryptid. Of course. That must be it. Now that I think about it, you mentioned seawater. I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch.
The words, washed away, sound distant and strange suddenly. Somewhere far away, a dog barks.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving. She nods.
Okay.
She slowly lights another.
It's you again. What is it? Why? You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush, right behind the window, behind Titus's back. A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectory.
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
No.
That's a lie.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, Cop.
That's probably for the best. Don't break your stride now.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot him. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
Nah. The only way up there is through Clausia's room. We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in rats. That is on my ass.
There you go. Tatted on his ass. We know.
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if those two doors are connected, Eugene? Is that your name, Eugene? If they are connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot. All right, I'll play alone. Those two doors of yours, the winch connects them with some kind of dumb waiter.
What winch? Where's the winch?
On the side of the building. You can see it from the harbor. You want to be a lieutenant, you gotta keep your eyes peeled.
I've seen the winch.
Fuck off, man.
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no. 72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. What else have you got? It puts her on the roof. Garbage. It wasn't a Sambo artist call. I've been doing...
It's never a Sambo fighter.
Or ghost. It's never a ghost either. Don't worry, we've got better than that.
I told you not to say that. This is not a joking matter for him.
Firmly. Try shit on a stick. Oh, and even then, our route doesn't put that bullet in.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shot. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon...
You don't know. Just be honest.
Right. That's mighty forthcoming of you. So, let me extend you...
Organized crime. Down in Jamrock, probably. He's not being too forthcoming.
So she may have access to semi-automatics, but that's a long fucking stretch of the... Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means. It means there's...
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just...
That looks antique. A Belma grade. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were 2...
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
It's a goddamn breech loader, too. Find one that works, and you got a military-grade weapon that shoots jacketed ammunition.
He sees it. This is coming together. He must. Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet. The blonde man looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence.
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4mm too.
Whoa. Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
You lost your gun?
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder? No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
God damn. That's just about your...
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
I don't know, cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Yeah. Like what? A thing? You mean?
Behind his squinting eyes, dominoes are falling. Fast. It's all beginning to make...
Yeah, but they're both girls.
Girls like girls too, Angus, sometimes. This is one of those times. She liked Glacier.
She's not a ghost. She's gay. You'd have to be an idiot not to... Guys, I'm not the only one who knew. Right?
Knew what? First he says she's murdered him. Now she's a too?
Come on, Glenn. She likes Monica's titties more than you do. Everyone knows which way the wind blows there.
I did. I knew it. That's why she didn't fuck me at Fatty's birthday party. She didn't fuck you, 'cause you're 40, and you still live with your mom, Dennis.
Ruby then threatened her and told her to end her relationship with the deceased.
This is some sordid shit. It's also the kind of garbage our Miss Aronier puts out to cover her own ass. That Ruby is queer as Cabaret, now that I start thinking about it. I don't know why I didn't see it earlier. And that's okay. Some are queerer than others. You can still be a Hardy. But if you bring your own...
If that's the case, then it's not right.
There are many pieces that fit together that way, Eugene. Face it.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women...
Eugene wants a woman on the team so they can do their job. That must be hard. Half of Martinez is female.
Yeah.
Wishful thinking has no place in a police investigation. A more serious consideration that you wish to avoid is that she knew what happened because she did it.
And I suppose you have a theory about that too, cop.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs. Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
You're on thin ice here, asshole.
It's a thought exercise, Titus. Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Alone. I don't drag my men into shit with me.
If she used us, then that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
But she didn't. This is fucking stupid, Titus. This and the queer thing.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
You had expressed, on occasion, your dislike of the mercenaries' presence in Martinez.
Whack someone in my district? That doesn't carry much favor with Titus Hardy. She has to know that. There's no fucking leadership challenge. Just when I thought she would taking this seriously, cop.
Man, now he's just throwing shit against...
Okay. We ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion.
There's a bit of truth in there for Titus to react so brashly. He does not like his authority questioned. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about. Ever since you asked me where she is. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared. She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation. I told you. You. Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
Why not? You suck on that gun like someone tore you a brand new asshole. How can I forget?
You and I are going to dance in the moonlight under 1 billion stars.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure. She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having to go on.
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
You are insistent.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips.
Scared? You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject.
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a party candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn. A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely? On the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
Lizzie needed some air. No one goes to tell Evrard anything. He knows what he has to know. Fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Sure, there are some shithouses there. A cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man. The what now? I have no idea. Boys?
She said she's building a A pale emitter.
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said she's doing Ulan frequencies at a...
This guy barely understands what he's talking about.
There you have it. Pale something.
It feels like you'll get to know soon enough.
It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People...
Yes? What is it?
Again? I can't... Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
What's that supposed to mean? Fuck you, buddy. She's not my taste.
Wow. She really...
Now, was there anything else? Yes?
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours? Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end. Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash? Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you. Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window. Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue. True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it. That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now, you know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous.